It was a lover and his lass, with a hey and a ho and a hey nonny no. That o'er the green cornfield did pass in springtime, the only pretty ring time. When birds do sing, hey ding-a-ding-a-ding, sweet lovers love the spring. Between the acres of the rye, with a hey and a ho and a hey nonny no. These pretty country folks would lie in springtime, the only pretty ring time. When birds do sing, hey ding-a-ding-a-ding, sweet lovers love the spring. This carol they began that hour, with a hey and a ho and a hey nonny no. How that life was but a flower in springtime, the only pretty ring time. When birds do sing, hey ding-a-ding-a-ding, sweet lovers love the spring. And therefore take the present time, with a hey and a ho and a hey nonny no. For love is crowned with the prime in springtime, the only pretty ring time. When birds do sing, hey ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding, sweet lovers love the spring.
Once more unto the breach, dear friends, once more, or close the wall up with our English dead. In peace, there's nothing so becomes a man as modest stillness and humility. But when the blast of war blows in our ears, then imitate the action of the tiger. Stiffen the sinews, conjure up the blood, disguise fair nature with hard favoured rage, and lend the eye a terrible aspect. Now, set the teeth and stretch the nostril wide, hold hard the breath and bend up every spirit to his full height. On, you goodly yeoman, whose limbs were made in England, show us here the mettle of your pasture. Let us swear that you are worth your breeding, which I doubt not. For there is none of you so mean and base that hath not noble lustre in your eyes. I see you stand, like greyhounds in the slip, straining upon the start. The game's afoot. Follow your spirit, and upon this charge, cry God for Harry, England, and St. George!
Barmaid, I say.
Yes, sir.
Go fetch me a quart of sack. Put a toast in it. Have I lived to be carried in a basket like a barrow of butcher's offal and to be thrown in the Thames? Well, if I be served another trick, I'll have my brains taken out, buttered, and thrown to a dog for a New Year's gift. The rogues slighted me into the river with as little remorse as they would drown a blind bitch's puppies, 15 in the litter. And you may know by my size, I have a kind of alacrity in sinking. If the bottom were as deep as hell, well, I should down. I had been drowned, but that the shore was shelvy and shallow. Death I abhor. For the water swells a man. And what a thing should I have been when I had been swelled. I should have been a mountain of a mummy.
Is Mistress Quickly, sir, to speak with you?
Come, let me pour in some sack to the Thames water, for my belly's as cold as if I'd swallowed snowballs for pills to cool the rains. I'll give her here. Now, take away this chalice. Go brew me a pottle of sack finely.
With eggs, sir.
Simple of itself. I'll no pullet sperm in my brewage. How now? Mistress Ford. I have had Ford enough. I was thrown into the Ford. I have a belly full of Ford. Well, I will visit her, tell her so, and bid her think what a man is. Let her consider his frailty, and then judge of my merit. Do so? Between 9 and 10, sayest thou? Well, be gone. I will not miss her.
'Tis past 9 already, sir.
Is it? I will then address me to my appointment. Adieu!
Good morrow, Kate, for that's your name, I hear.
Well, have you heard, but something hard of hearing. They call me Catherine that do talk of me.
You lie, i' faith, for you're plain Kate. Well, and bonny Kate, and sometimes Kate the cursed, but Kate, the prettiest Kate in Christendom. Kate of Kate Hall, my super dainty Kate, for dainties are all Kates. And therefore, Kate, take this of me, Kate, of my consolation. Hearing thy mildness praised in every town, thy virtue spoke of, and thy beauty sounded, yet not so deeply as to thee belongs, myself am moved to woo thee for my wife.
Moved in good time. Let him that moved you hither remove you hence.
Well, why? What's so movable?
A joined stool.
There's it. Come, sit on me.
Asses are made to bear, and so are you.
Women are made to bear, and so are you.
No such jade as you, if me you mean.
Alas, good Kate, I will not burden you, knowing thee to be but young and light.
Too light for such a swain as you to catch, and yet as heavy as my weight should be.
Oh, should buzz.
Oh. Well, 10, and like a buzzard.
Oh, slow-winged turtle, shall a buzzard take thee?
Aye, for a turtle, as he takes a buzzard.
Oh, come, you wasp. If faith you were too angry.
If I be waspish, best beware my sting.
My remedy is then to pluck it out.
Aye, if the fool can find it where it lies.
Well, who knows not where a wasp does wear his sting? In his tail.
In his tongue.
Whose tongue?
Yours, if you talk of tales. And so farewell.
What, with my tongue in your tail? Nay, come again, good Kate, I'm a gentleman.
Where did you study all this goodly speech?
It is extempore from my mother wit.
A witty mother, witless else the son.
Am I not wise?
Yes, keep you warm.
Marry, so I hope, sweet Catherine, in thy bed. Therefore, setting all this chat aside, thus in plain terms, your father hath consented that you shall be my wife, your dowry agreed upon, and will ye, near ye, I will marry you. But, Kate, I am a husband for your turn. By this light, whereby I see thy beauty that doth make me like thee well, thou must marry no man but me. For I am he born to tame you, Kate.
Look, what a wardrobe is here for thee.
Let me see thee in thy woman's weeds.
Oh, where lie my maiden weeds?
Fit me with such weeds that may beseem some well-reported page.
The round hose, madam, is not worth a pin, unless you have a codpiece to stick pins on.
I will fasten on this sleeve of thine.
Doublet and hose ought to show itself courageous to petticoat.
One of these maid's girdles for your waist should be fit.
I'll put a girdle round the earth.
Well did he become that lion's robe, who did disrobe the lion of that robe.
Give me my robe. Put on my crown. I have immortal longings in me.
Uneasy rests the head that wears the crown.
Gloves as sweet as damask roses, mask for faces and for hoses.
I'll give my jewels for a set of beads.
A fair hot wench in flame-coloured taffeta.
Through tattered clothes great vices do appear. Robes and furred gowns hide all.
What? Should I don this robe and trouble thee?
Thy scarlet robe as a child's bearing cloth. I'll use thee to carry out of this place.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances. And one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. And then, the whining schoolboy, with his satchel and shining morning face, like snail creeping unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like furnace, with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. Then the soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like the pard, jealous in honour, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly with good capon lined, eyes severe, beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances. And so he plays his part. The 6th scene shifts to the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose, pouch on side, his youthful hose well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank, and his big manly voice turning towards childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all that ends this strange eventful history is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything.
Round about the cauldron go, in the poisoned entrails throw, toad, that under cold stone days and nights has 31 sweltered venom sleeping got. Boil thou first in the charmed pot. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Fillet of a fenny snake, in the cauldron boil and bake. Eye of newt and tongue of frog, wool of bat and toe of dog, adder's fork and blind worm's sting, lizard's leg and howlets wing, for a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell broth, boil and bubble.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, moor and gulf of the ravin salt sea shark, root of hemlock, digged in the dark, liver of blaspheming Jew, gall of goat and slips of yew, silvered in the moon's eclipse, nose of Turk and Tartar's lips, finger of birth strangled babe, ditch delivered by a drab, make the gruel thick and slab. Add thereto a tiger's children for the ingredients of our cauldron.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes.
Where wilt thou lead me? Speak, I'll go no further.
Mark me.
I will.
My hour is almost come when I to sulphurous and tormenting flames must render up myself.
Alas, poor ghost.
Pity me not, but lend thy serious hearing to what I shall unfold.
Speak, I am bound to hear.
And to revenge when thou shalt hear.
What?
I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, and for the day to fast in fires till the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away. But that I am forbid to tell the secrets of my prison house, I could a tale unfold whose lightest word would harrow up thy soul, freeze thy young blood, make thy two eyes like stars start from their spheres, thy knotted and combined locks to part, and each particular hair to stand on end like quills upon the fretful porpentine. But this eternal blazon must not be to ears of flesh and blood. List, list, oh list, if thou didst ever thy dear father love,
oh God,
revenge his foul and most unnatural murder.
Murder?
Murder most foul, as in the best it is, but this most foul, strange and unnatural.
Oh, haste me to know it, that I, with wings as swift as meditation or the thoughts of love, may sweep to my revenge.
I find thee apt, and duller shouldst thou be than the fat weed which roots itself in ease on Lethe wharf, wouldst thou not stir in this. Now, Hamlet, hear. 'Tis given out that sleeping in my orchard, a serpent stung me. So is the whole ear of Denmark, by a forged process of my death, rankly abused. But know, thou noble youth, the serpent that stung thy father's life now wears his crown.
Prophetic soul, my uncle.
Aye, that incestuous, that adulterate beast, with witchcraft of his wits, with traitorous gifts, O wicked wit and gifts that have the power so to seduce, won to his shameful lust the will of my most seeming virtuous queen. Oh, Hamlet, what a falling off was there from me, whose love was of that dignity that it went hand in hand, even with the vow I made to her in marriage, and to decline upon a wretch whose natural gifts were poor to those of mine. And virtue, though it never will be moved, though lewdness caught it in a shape of heaven, so lust, though to a radiant angel linked, will sate itself in a celestial bed and prey on garbage. It's soft. Methinks I scent the morning air. Brief, let me be. Sleeping within my orchard, my custom always in the afternoon, upon my secure hour thy uncle stole, with juice of cursed Hebenod in a vial, and in the porches of mine ears did pour the leprous distilment, whose effect holds such an enmity with blood of man, that swift as quicksilver it courses through the natural gates and alleys of the body. And with a sudden vigour it doth posset and curd like eager droppings into milk, the thin unwholesome blood, so did it mine. And a most instant tetter barked about, most Lazar-like, with vile and loathsome crust, all my smooth body. Thus was I sleeping by a brother's hand, of life, of crown, of queen, at once dispatched, cut off even in the blossom of my sins, unhouselled, disappointed, unannealed, no reckoning made, but sent to my account with all my imperfections on my head. Oh, horrible, most horrible. If thou hast nature in thee, bear it not. Let not the royal bed of Denmark be a couch for luxury and damned incest. But howsomever thou pursuest this act, taint not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy mother aught. Leave her to heaven, and to those thorns that in her bosom lodge, to prick and sting her. But fare thee well at once. The glowworm shows the matin to be near, and gins to pale his ineffectual fire. Adieu. 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 Remember me.
Oh, all you host of heaven. Oh, earth. What else? Shall I couple with hell? Oh, fie. Hold. Hold my heart. And you, my sinews, grow not instant hold, but bear me stiffly up. Remember thee.
Oh, wonderful! Wonderful! Bravo!
I
Bravo!
wonder that you will still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
What, my dear Lady Disdain, are you yet living?
Oh, is it possible Disdain should die while she have such meat food to feed it as Signor Benedict? Courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you come in her presence.
Then is courtesy a turncoat. But it is certain I am loved of all ladies, only you excepted, and I would I could find in my heart that I had not a hard heart, for truly I love none.
Oh, a dear happiness to women. They would else have been troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God and my cold blood I am of your humour for that. I had rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
God, keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other shall scape a predestinate scratched face.
Scratching could not make it worse, and 'twas such a face as yours were.
Well, you are a rare parrot teacher.
Bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my horse had the speed of your tongue and so good a continuer, but keep your way. In God's name, I have done.
You always end with a jade trick. I know you of old.
But soft! What light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, for she is so already sick and pale with grief that thou, her maid, art far more fair than she. Oh, be not her maid, for she is envious. Her vestal raiment is but sick and green, and none but fools do wear it. Cast it off. Oh, she is my lady. She's my love, all that she knew she were. She speaks, but she says nothing. Oh, what of that? 'Tis her eye discourses. I will answer it. Oh, I am too bold. 'Tis not to me she speaks. Two of the fairest stars in all the heaven, having some business, do entreat her eyes to twinkle in their spheres till they return. Oh, see how she lays her cheek upon her hand. Oh, would I were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek.
Bugger me.
She speaks. Oh, speak again, bright angel, for thou art as glorious in this night, been o'er my head, as is a winged messenger of heaven, when he bestrides a lazy pacing clouds, soars upon the bosom of the air.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name, or if thou canst not, be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I speak now, or shall I hear more of this?
Is but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague. What's Montague? It is not hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man. Oh, be some other name. What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. So Romeo would, were he not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owes without that title. Oh, Romeo, doff thy name, and for thy name which is no part of thee, take all myself.
I take thee at thy word. Call me but love, and I'll be new baptized. Henceforth I never will be Romeo.
What man art thou, thus besmirched in night, so stumblest on my counsel? Eh? Who are you?
By a name I cannot tell thee who I am, because my name is hateful to myself, because it is an enemy to thee.
My ears have not yet drunk 100 words of that tongue's utterance, yet I know the sound. Art thou not Romeo? And a Montague?
Neither, if either thy despise.
How camest thou hither? Tell me, and wherefore? The orchard walls are high and hard to climb, and the place death, considering who thou art, if any of my kinsmen find thee here.
With loves like wings I did perch these walls. For stony barriers cannot hold love out, and what love can do, that dares love attempt. Therefore thy kinsmen are no let to me.
If they do see you, they will murder you.
The like there is more peril in thine eyes than 20 of their swords.
I would not for the world they saw thee here.
I have night's cloak to hide me from their sight, and but thy love me, let them find me here, for better my life were ended by thy hate than death prorogued, wanting of thy love.
By whose direction found thou out this place?
By love that first did prompt me to inquire.
Thou know'st the mask of night is on my face, else would a maiden blush besmirch my cheek for that which thou hast heard me speak tonight. Dost thou love me? I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thy word. Oh, gentle Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully.
Lady, but by yon blessed moon I swear, that tips with silver all these fruit tree tops.
Oh, swear, not by the moon, the inconstant moon that monthly changes in her circled orb, let that thy love prove likewise variable.
What shall I swear by?
Oh, do not swear at all. Or if thou must, swear by thy gracious self, who is the god of my idolatry, and I'll believe thee.
But my dear love.
Oh, do not swear. Although I joy in thee, I have no joy of this contract tonight. It is too rash, too unadvised, too sudden, too like the lightning, which shall cease to be ere one can say it lightens. Sweet, good night.
Wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied?
What satisfaction canst thou have tonight?
Bugger all with this social distancing, except for the exchange of thy love's faithful vows for mine.
I gave thee mine ere thou requested it. But would it mine to give to thee again?
Wilt thou withdraw it? For what reason, love?
But to be frank and give it thee again. My love is boundless as the sea, my love is deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have, for both are infinite.
Go on, you lot, go on, bugger up!
I hear some noise within. Dear love, adieu, cock.
Ye elves of hills, brooks, standing lakes and groves, and ye that on the sands with printless foot do chase the ebbing Neptune, and do fly him when you come back. You demi-puppets, who by moonshine do the green sour ringlets make, whereof the ewe not bites. And you, who do make midnight mushrooms, and who rejoice to hear the solemn curfew, by whose aid, weak masters though ye be, I have bedimmed the noontide sun, cast forth the multitudinous winds, and twixt the green sea and the azured vault set roaring war. To the dread rattling thunderbolt have I given fire, and rifted Jove's stout oak with his own bolt. Strong-based promontory have I made shake, and by the spurs ripped up the pine and cedar. Graves at my command have waked their sleepers, oped and set them forth by my so potent art. But this rough magic I here abjure, and when I have required some heavenly music, which even now I do, to work mine end upon their senses that this airy charm is for, I'll break my staff, bury it certain fathoms in the earth, and deeper than did ever plummet sound, I'll drown my book.
If we shadows have offended, think but this, and all is mended, that you have but slumbered here, while these visions did appear. And this weak and idle theme, no more yielding, but a dream. Gentles, do not reprehend. If you pardon, we will mend. And as I am an honest puck, if we have unearned luck, now to scape the serpent's tongue, we will make amends ere long. Else the puck a liar call. So, good night unto you all. Give me your hands, if we be friends. And Robin shall restore amends.
We hope you've enjoyed this performance from the Quay Theatre. If you have and you'd like to donate, please click on the donate button at the top of each page on the Quay Online website. Thank you.